Hello guys and welcome to Sarthi classes. In this chapter we have studied what is Euclid's division lemma, what is Euclid's division algorithm and fundamental theorem of arithmetic. In this part we are going to study how can we prove the irrationality of certain real number. We already know that real numbers are of two types, that is rational and irrational. Okay, we have done certain questions on rational number. Now we are going to study how do we say that a given real number is irrational. First of all, you must know what are rational numbers and what are irrational numbers. You must know their properties and the characteristics of an irrational number so that you can prove that a number is irrational. Okay, so for that purpose I have already made a video about the differences between rational number and irrational number. The link to the video is here. Okay, so if you want to learn more about what are the difference between rational and irrational number, please follow the link. What are irrational numbers? The numbers that cannot be represented in the form p upon q, where q is not equal to 0 and p comma q are co-prime integers. So if I can write a number, let a, in the form p upon q, where q is not equal to 0 and p and q are co-prime integers, then we say that a given number is rational. If I cannot write a number in this form, then the number is said to be irrational. Okay, so if this is the definition of rational number, then if I write not equal to instead of equal to, then this will become the definition of irrational numbers. Okay, so let us now move to our first question. Now here we need to prove that root 2 is irrational. Okay, we know that the square root of all non-perfect square numbers is always irrational. For instance, if I take what are some numbers that are not perfect square, that are 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 and many more. Okay, if I take the square root of any of these numbers, then the number obtained will always be an irrational number. Okay, but how do we prove that root 2 is irrational? We will solve this by the method of contradiction. Okay, what does contradiction means? That first of all we will accept the given statement. Let us assume that root 2 is rational. Okay, so if root 2 is rational, let us assume that root 2 is rational. Okay, if root 2 is rational, that what does it means? It means then root 2 can be written in the form p upon q. Okay, if it is rational, it can be written as a fraction. Okay, where q is not equal to 0, the denominator should not be 0, and the numerator and denominator p comma q are co-prime integers. Okay, if you do not know what are co-prime integers, then again I must say watch the video that I told you to watch. Okay, now we have an equation. On squaring this equation, what do we get? We get, I can write here, squaring both sides. Squaring both sides, we get 2 equals to p square upon q square. Okay, on solving this we get p square equals to 2q square. Okay, let me take it as equation number 1. Now I can see that p square can be obtained by multiplying 2 and q square. So q square and 2 are both factors of p square. So if I write, since 2 is a factor of p square, therefore 2 is a factor of p. Okay, always remember that here p and q were co-prime integers, that they could not be reduced any further. Okay, Now, let us take an example why I have written this statement. If we have any number, let us assume 144. Okay. What is the factor of 144? There are many factors of 144. Let us, for instance, take 2. Okay. And if I take square root of 144, that will be equals to 12. Okay. So 12 will also be divisible by the prime number by which 144 was divisible. Okay. So 12 will also be divisible by 2. You get my point? If p square is divisible by 2, then its square root, that is p, should also be divisible by 2. So we get that 2 is a common factor of p square and p. So we can write the above statement as p equals to 2m. Okay. If I get p square by multiplying 2 with q square, then I will get p by multiplying 2 with some other integer. Okay. So I have written the equation as p equals to 2m. Now, again squaring both sides. Again, squaring both sides, we get p square equals to 4m square. Now, if we substitute value of p square from equation 1, then what do we get? Substituting value of p square from equation 1, we get, what do we get? Putting p square equals to 2q square, we get 2q square equals to 4m square is written on the right hand side. Okay. On solving this expression, I will get q square equals to 2m square. Now see, just like the first equation, we can see that 2 is a factor of q square. Since 2 is a factor of q square, so 2 will also be a factor of p. Of q. But if we assume that root 2 is rational, then p and q must be co-prime integers. If p and q are co-prime integers, that means that their HCF, that is the highest common factor, should be 1, which means they should not be divisible by the same number. But what we have found out, that p is divisible by 2, okay, and q is divisible by 2, so they're both divisible by 2. Okay, so we can write, but this contradicts our assumption that p and q are co-prime. So our assumption was wrong, and root 2 is irrational. Okay. Okay. So what we did was we assumed that root 2 is rational, agreeing with the quotient. Then according to the quotient statement, p and q must be co-prime integers, but we find out that p and q are both divisible by 2, so they are not co-prime. Since they are not co-prime, hence p upon q is not a rational number, and since p upon q is not a rational number, therefore root 2 is not a rational number. Okay. Now if in the quotient you have any value other than 2, that is root 3, root 5, root 6, root 7, what you need to do is just replace 2 everywhere in the quotient. Wherever I have written 2, you will write the required number. Okay. Here instead of 4, you will get the square of the given number, and here also you will write the square of the given number. Okay, rest everything, every statement will remain the same. Okay, now let us do one more question upon this topic. Now look at this problem. Here we have two terms. Both these terms are individually irrational. Okay, we know that root 2 is irrational, and we also know that root 5 is irrational. And if you have watched the video, I have told there that the sum of two irrational number is always irrational. Okay, but we need to prove this. How will we do that? First of all, just like the previous question, follow the method of contradiction. So let us assume that root 2 plus root 5 is rational. Okay, so root 2 plus root 5 can be written as a upon b or p upon q, whatever expression you like. Okay, now again squaring both sides just like we did now, was squaring both sides. What do we get? Root 2 plus root 5 whole square equals to a upon b whole square, that is equals to 2 plus 5 plus 2 root 10 equals to a square upon b square. Okay, solving this expression we get 7 plus 2 root 10 equals to a square upon b square. So we get 2 root 10 equals to a square minus 7b square upon b square. Okay, this 2 is multiplied by root 10 here, so it will go in the denominator. So we can write root 10 equals to a square minus 7b square upon 2b square. Okay, now look, since a is an integer, b is an integer, and if I solve a square minus 7b square, the operation on two integer will always be an integer. Okay, in the denominator also I will get an integer term. An integer divided by integer is also an integer. Okay, or it can be a decimal also, but it will remain a rational number. Okay, so it will be a rational number. Now, so we will write now, since a and b are integers, therefore a square minus 7b square upon 2b square is rational. Okay, so the expression in the RHS is a rational number, but in the left hand side the expression, that is root 10, is irrational. So how is it possible that a rational number is equal to an irrational number? The value of a rational number can be determined exactly, but we cannot determine the exact value of an irrational number. So this statement cannot hold true. So our assumption would be wrong. Okay, we must have done some mistake such that we get a rational number equal to an irrational number. So we will write, but this is not possible as root 10 is irrational. So our assumption was wrong. Okay, and we have root 2 plus root 5 is irrational. Now let us move to one more question. Now in front of us is a very interesting problem. It is a khichdi type of something of many topics. We need to prove that there is no positive integer value of n for which this term can be rational. Okay, that is root n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1. Okay, before doing this question, I need to tell you something. First, the smallest perfect square is 1. Okay, and the second perfect square is 4. Okay, now if you see 4 and 1 differ by 3. So all perfect squares should differ by at least 3. Okay, if I move to the next perfect square, that is 9. Okay, and if I subtract 9 from 4, then it will be 5. If I subtract next perfect square, that is 16 from 9, the result will be 7. Then again it will be 9, then again it will be 11. It will increase by 2, that is successive odd integers. Okay, so this gap will successively increase. So I can represent this gap as an exponential graph. Okay, so two perfect squares should at least differ by 3. If I am given two terms, that 1 5 6 7 2 or 6 7 5 something, and I am given 1 5 6 7 7. If I need to say find that whether these two terms, both terms are perfect square or not, then I will say that these two terms cannot be perfect square at the same time, because they differ only by 2. Okay, here the difference is 2, but it is not possible. The difference should have been at least 3. Okay, now what does this have to do with our question? Let me tell you. Here the second number is n plus 1 and this number is n minus 1. If I solve this expression, I can see that the numbers here differ by 2. Okay, so these two numbers cannot be perfect squares at the same time for any value of n. Whatever you put n equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, got it? And if we are saying no positive integer, okay, what does positive integer mean? In the previous video I have already told you that whenever we talk of positive integer, we are already talking about natural numbers. Okay, so this expression will not be true for any positive integer, that is any natural value of n. Now you must recall what is rationalization from class 9th, how to solve problem based upon rationalization. Now just like the previous problems, let us consider root n minus 1 plus root n plus 1 be a rational number. Okay, we need to prove that it is irrational. There is no positive integer n. Okay, so we solve it by method of contradiction. So we assume that this number, this expression is rational. Therefore, we will write root n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1 equals to a upon b. Okay, if I reciprocate both the sides, we will get 1 upon root over n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1 equals to b upon a. Okay, now you should know how to rationalize the denominator of any number, because you studied it in your class 9th number system. Okay, so the rationalizing factor of root a plus minus root b is root a minus plus root b. So the rationalizing factor of root over n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1 would be root over n minus 1 minus root over n plus 1 upon root over n minus 1 minus root over n plus 1. Okay, and on the RHS it will be b upon a simply. On solving this expression, what we will get? We will get root over n minus 1 minus root over n plus 1, and in the denominator we will get a plus b, a minus b is a square minus b square. So we will get n minus 1 minus n plus 1. Okay, equals to b upon a. So what we will get? we will get b upon a equals to root over n minus 1 minus root over n plus 1 upon, now look, here is n, here is minus n, so n minus n cancels out and minus 1 is minus 2. Okay, this minus 2 will this minus sign will move to the numerator and the term will become b upon a equals to root over n plus 1 minus root over n minus 1 upon 2. Okay, the positive term will become negative term and the negative term will become positive term in the numerator. Now again, what we need to do now, if this is equation number 1, if I consider this as equation number 1, now look, I will move this 2 on the left hand side, so I will get 2b upon a equals to root over n plus 1 minus root over n minus 1. Okay, let us take it as equation number 2. If I subtract equation number 1, equation number 2 from equation number 1, what I will get is equation 1 minus equation 2, we will get a upon b minus 2b upon a equals to expression on the first equation is n minus 1 plus n plus 1, and from equation number 2 we get root over n plus 1 minus root over n minus 1. Okay, now solving these expressions we will get a square minus 2b square upon ab equals to here we will get root over n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1 minus root over n plus 1 plus root over n minus 1. Okay, so on solving this expression we get a square minus 2b square upon ab equals to, this term will cancel out and I will get 2 into root over n minus 1. So the expression is a square minus 2b square upon 2ab equals to root over n minus 1. Okay, so according to our assumption, root over n minus 1 is a rational number. Okay, so it can individually be a rational number, that is true, it can. Okay, now we will do the same thing to find out root over n plus 1. Okay, so instead of subtracting this expression, we should have added both this equation number 1 and 2. We would have got a similar expression for root over n plus 1. Okay, so I will rub this side. Now look, if I would have added equation 1 and equation 2, I would have got a upon b plus 2b upon a equals to root over n minus 1 plus root over n plus 1 plus root over n plus 1 minus root over n minus 1. Okay, on solving this expression I would have got a square plus 2b square upon ab equals to, okay, in this part root over n minus 1 and root over n minus 1 will cancel out and I will get root over 2 root over n plus 1. Okay, so I will get a square plus 2b square upon, this 2 will move here, so I will get 2ab equals to root over n plus 1. Okay, let us assume this is equation number 3 and this is equation number 4. So from equation 3 and 4 we can see that a is an integer, b is an integer, because we assume that a and b are both integers. Okay, I assume this expression is a rational, so it was equals to a upon b, where a and b were both co-prime integers. So if a is integer, b is integer, then this expression will be rational. So root over n plus 1 will be rational. Similarly, here also a is integer, b is integer, so root over n minus 1 is also rational. So from both the equation we can say that we have root over n minus 1 and root over n plus 1 are both rationals. But this is not possible. It cannot happen because in the starting of this question I told you that all perfect squares must differ by at least 3. Okay, and the difference between n minus 1 and n plus 1 was 2. Okay, this is not possible because perfect squares must differ at least by 3. The least common difference should be 3. Okay, so it is not possible for any positive integer value of n for which this expression is rational. Okay, that's it. We have successfully studied proving irrationality of numbers. There are some questions. I need you to do these questions at your home, and if you have any difficulty, then ask them in the comment section. Okay, in the next video we will study how do we determine the nature of decimal expansion of rational numbers. Okay, I hope you like the content of this video, and if you did, then please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.